Oh, yeah. I am awake and alive. And alive.
I'm so great I gotta say it twice and cut it out once. My head's a syrup bottle that's getting tipped over every Wednesday. You're a storyteller in a storytelling podcast, and the only story you're telling now is a story about stories you don't want to tell! What the fuck? Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Yeah, it's Tuesday, so what? So what, folks? I don't want to be here on a Tuesday at fucking 6 o'clock at night. Is it 6 o'clock? I don't know if it's 6 o'clock yet. I don't know. It's late. I got here late. I wanted to get here early. Folks, I have a lot of things to do. I'm going to Boston. Are you aware that I'm going to Boston? If you're not aware that I'm going to Boston, go to Brown Paper Tickets and buy tickets. I'm going to be in Boston soon. And that's going to go well. Oh, my God, folks. I can't tell you how excited I am for Boston. It's going to be fantastic. Everything is falling apart just days before the date. Thank you, Boston. And you know what's funny is it took me, I booked this in fucking January, I think. January, February, I don't know, because when I went to check in for my plane, get this, folks. I'm flying to Boston, as I've mentioned. Well, no, I guess I didn't mention that. I said I went to go check in for my plane. So I guess you assumed. I think all of you assumed that I'm flying to Boston, because I would get there certainly quicker than riding a bike. Or running Gump style. What if I did that? I should have done that. I should have run Gump style. God damn it. It would have been part of my training, for fuck's sake, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I could have gone Gump style and gotten to fucking Boston with a crazy beard and Jackson Brown playing and a fucking sunset. God damn it. Why didn't I think of that? I should have gumped across this great land of ours and gotten to Boston. But you know why? Because if I'm going to be disappointed in Boston, I'd rather fly there. That's why. And that's not on you guys. It has nothing to do. You guys have bought tickets, and so cool. There's still tickets available. I hope you'll buy some and you'll show up. It's not you. It's other things in Boston. Fuck, I mentioned it last week. I alluded to it, but it's changed even further, and I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I'm going to Boston, and so I checked in for my plane, and I bought my plane ticket in February for this flight, and they changed the start time. Well, not the start time. What does that mean? The leave time. There's not a start time. Start the plane. Start the plane. No, there's a departure, and they only changed by like 15 minutes. I'm leaving at 7. I thought I was leaving at 7:25 a.m., but I'm leaving at 7:10 a.m. But it just strikes me as odd that you buy a ticket for a certain. What if I couldn't leave at 7:10? I know it's only 15 minutes, and nobody in the world ever has that. Fuck, I can't leave 15 minutes earlier. Nobody feels that way. But I didn't get a call or a fucking. Aren't they supposed to email me or something? Because you give them they have all your information. I'm signed up with 9 different airlines. By the way, fuck ATA. Let's go ahead and say that right now. I flew ATA to Atlanta. I was going to fly them to Milwaukee and then didn't. I like ATA. I enjoyed my flights with them. They, their seats were nice. They had the Biscoff cookies. Everything seemed to be really great with ATA. So I said, you know what? Maybe I'll start flying ATA a little bit. So when I took their flights, I signed up for their frequent flyer program because you do that with everybody. Whenever I fly, because here's the thing, I would love to be exclusive. All right, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to only fly American Airlines. But then when I sit down and I go and I start figuring out the flights on American Airlines, sometimes they're like $160 more than United. Even United, like that doesn't make any sense. United and American, they should be competitive. The pricing there, right? Shouldn't they have a price war and they should match each other's prices and slash them or whatever the fuck? Because we all know that I won't fly. I'm not going to fly Spirit. I'm not going to fly Frontier Airlines. Frontier Airlines, honestly, that doesn't it make you think that like a horse is towing the plane across the United States? Frontier Airlines. Think of a different fucking name. Think of like Supersonic Jet-O-Matic Airlines. I mean, anything like that to inspire confidence in me. Engine Airlines would inspire more confidence in me than Frontier Airlines, because Frontier Airlines, I just think we're going to plunge right into the fucking frontier. Quite frankly, I don't think you got the horses to drag me across this country. And I mean horsepower. That's right, I alluded to horsepower there. That's how you guys talk, gearheads. I don't know anything about fucking cars. I barely put the key in. You know what? I know so little about cars. I bought a car where I don't have to put the key in. I took that burden off of my table. My Murano is a keyless fucking start. Boom. You don't care. All right, so, folks, what was I saying? I was saying something before I got tied up into Boston.
You checked in for your plane.
They changed the start time. ATA Airlines, folks. I sign up with them. I get some fucking frequent flyer miles from them. Then I get an email from them. Guess what? Guess who bought them? Guess who they're merging with? Southwest. Yeah, that's right, Southwest. So they're assuring me that all of my frequent flyers will still be converted into rapid rewards points. I don't give a fuck. Don't you realize I'm a fat guy? I can't fly on Southwest Airlines. You should have called me. That's what you should have done. Before you made this merger, you should have said, hey, fat people who they should give me, because you know what? I was on Northwest Airlines. I flew them. You remember them? They existed for a while. And I had frequent flyer miles with them. And it looked like they were about to expire. So they called me. They like sent me a note and a phone call. And they said, hey, dude, you've got miles. And we're like folding our planes. And I think one of the reasons they were folding is because they called me dude when they called me. I don't know if they just, maybe that's not great customer service when you call them and go, dude, we're folding our planes. So they were going under. So I actually said to the guy, hey, can I have a plane? Like I thought they were calling me as some sort of like recompense. They were dealing, hey, look, you've got some frequent flyer miles. So we're going to just give you a Boeing 720. Fantastic. By the way, I have no idea if a Boeing 720 exists. I don't know if it's a real plane. I don't need letters from pilots. Mark. I have one. I know for sure I have one pilot listening to me, Mark, my friend Mark. There could be, maybe there's a whole cabal of pilots. Maybe there's a cabal. That's what it is. It's a crazy jihad of pilots. Oh, that's actually, hold on. That's a very bad term to use. Pilots, if you organize, be a union, be a cabal even. You could probably get away with a cabal. I'm here to recommend to pilots, do not become a jihad. Do not approach for any negotiations and say, hey, we've got our jihad fully behind us. That is going to do nothing but unnerve people and disrupt your negotiations, quite frankly. They will look to replace you with simulators. And I can't go with a flying robot. Fuck that. I wouldn't even get in that Star Trek machine at the fucking Universal Studios. I got sick in that thing. Did I ever tell you that story? Dude, I'm not good at that. Virtual reality shit I'm bad at. Like the future. Basically, I should say that. You know what? The future holds nothing for me because it's going to be terrible. You know, they always talk about, put on a virtual reality helmet and you can fuck some girl in the ass. I'm like, well, all right, that sounds great. But I would still somehow find a way to get sick from that. Like I would still... There would be some sort of weird motion sickness, and then because you put on a virtual reality helmet to fuck a girl in the ass, you're hoping fluids will expel from your body, just not from your mouth. I mean, it's like, unfortunately, I'm going to wind up getting sick and vomiting all over the place while I'm banging some fucking hot chick in virtual reality land. That's not going to be good. And if that happens, by the way, does virtual reality make me puke? Because you know what? It could work. Actually, just get naked in the tub, put on the virtual reality helmet, and then fuck the girl in your helmet, and then just vomit all over yourself, and then just get up and take a shower. Right? That'll work out. I don't know what technology exists. I'm already assuming that the technology will be bad for me, so I'm trying to figure out a way that I can still use it. How horrible is that? Instead of thinking about, I can go find a girl and bang her. No, I want a virtual reality helmet and I'm going to vomit all over myself. That's how that chick better be hot. That's all I'm saying. Don't release the technology until the girls are hot and lifelike. I don't want to fuck some chick from The Sims and sit there in a pool of my own vomit. That's not going to happen. They're too weird looking. I can't fuck some chick from The Sims. And then they have that, don't they talk like Q*bert talk? I mean, I haven't seen The Sims in a while, but don't they go from room to room and they look at one another and they're like, and then all of a sudden they're in a hot tub, right? Isn't that like the adult Sims? I don't fucking know. I haven't played it in a long time. You know why? Because I get tired of cleaning up the vomit. Whenever I would play The Sims, I would wind up fucking some girl there in The Sims land and I would vomit all over myself. That's even without the virtual reality helmet. Holy shit. So, what was I saying? But what was I saying before I fucked some girl in space and vomited all over myself? Oh,
Star Trek ride.
it wasn't a Star Trek ride. It was Star Wars. I wouldn't ride a Star Trek ride. Fuck that. Fuck Star Trek. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to see it. I had nothing to do with it. No offense, nerds. I'm glad you like it and you can live long and prosper and whatever the fuck else you want to do. As a matter of fact, there you go. I'm doing the hand signal just for you guys. You can't see it, but I'm holding up the V hand thing because I can do that, folks. Some people can't do that with their hands. I can do it. My fingers are separate. All right, there we go. I literally just stared at my hands and did hand tricks on a podcast. You guys, you have no idea what I just did, but literally I held up my hands and I did the thing where you separate your fingers. I can do all that. And like Mork, like Nanu, like, all right, I'm doing hand tricks for you. Stop. We need this to be a video show. You know what? You guys need to put me in a virtual reality helmet and let's all vomit all over ourselves. Oh, Schmidt's doing that thing with his hands again. Blah. All right. And how little do I think of you folks? I apologize. I want to fuck some hot girl. You would get a virtual reality helmet and watch me do a podcast? Oh my God. Talk about the worst waste of technology ever. Although part of me would actually want to do that just to see me as Sims me. Oh my God, dudes, somebody design me. Somebody from EA or somebody draw me. Like, I'll put on a ping pong ball suit. Let's motion capture the shit out of me. Oh man, that's awesome. How great would it be to put me in like a fucking green unitard with fucking ping pong balls all over it, and then I show up and I just do a podcast, a motion capture podcast. I am on the cusp of this. God damn it. And sure enough, in a week, Mark Maron or Adam Carolla is going to do it because, by the way, I don't know if you're aware of this. Those are the only podcasts that exist. Are you aware of that? Literally, the only podcasts that exist are Mark Maron, Adam Carolla, Kevin Smith, and Jimmy Pardo. I apologize. There's four. Huh? And the Nerdist. Oh my God, I can't forget about them. Holy shit, they are the Japanese tsunami of podcasts, and all of other podcasts have been washed out into the Pacific Ocean, floating, waiting to be discovered. That's what it is. The Nerdist rose and crashed ashore, and then all other tiny podcasts like my own were swept out to sea, and now we float, waiting to be discovered, hazardous, waiting to be touched, covered in our own vomit. God damn it, motion capture me for a podcast. Wouldn't that be great? You know what? That's honestly, that's a sketch. I mean, that Funny or Die should be doing that now. They should with Maron. Fuck me. Nobody wants to see me do it. Get Maron another. How funny is that? That's a great idea. I got to call Mark. He's not going to remember me at all. He met me once. It's so funny because now Mark is huge and he does all these shows and he interviews people and he interviews monstrous names and he just released a box set and stuff like that. And I think of the people who purchased the box set and they listen to the Louis C.K. interview and they listen to the Gallagher interview and like, holy shit. And then they listen to me and they're like, who the fuck is this idiot? They must think that Mark invented me. That's how off the radar screen I am for those people. Because I disappeared. Like nothing good ever came of it. I never became huge or famous. Like I showed up one day at his house and I walked in, we interviewed, and then I left. And then that's it. I disappeared into the ether. I wasn't in show business beforehand. I wasn't in show business afterwards. The only time I've been in show business was when I was on Mark's podcast. That's it. For people who have no idea, because there are people who they listen to Mark's podcast. That's their gateway into podcasting. And I can't imagine anybody who starts listening to Mark and then they go to the podcast like iTunes page and they're horrified by the sheer volume of podcasts. Whenever I try to, because it's for years I've had to explain to people what a podcast is. You tell them it's like radio on the internet, but it's not. And it's radio you choose to listen to. Like you can actually pick the programming, and people don't understand. But now you can just say, oh, it's what Mark Maron does, and everybody goes, oh, okay, I know what that is because I've heard about it so much. And he's huge, and now he's going to be, and Comedy Bang Bang too is another one. I apologize, folks. I'm small. I'm trying to project my smallness on everybody else. Every other show is huge except mine. I apologize. Maybe I'm the one who's overwhelmed by the page because I used to go on there and see my logo, and now my logo completely crushed by every transsexual has decided to do a comedy show. I can't tell you. Every time I see Bailey J is in the listings for comedy, and I'm just like, really, for comedy, Bailey J? The only reason people are listening is they hope they can hear her cock move. That's the only reason guys are listening to that fucking show. And my buddy Kevin Sesha just did that show. Like I want to call Kevin and go, how did you get on the radar for Bailey J? Well, I mean, I know how he did because he's funny. And he on Twitter he gets like retweeted a million times, and he's an author. He had and also he put the bounty on Chris Brown. So Kevin got a lot of heat from that kind of stuff. But it just seems funny to me that all of a sudden Bailey J would be the show that he would wind up doing. I don't know. And am I a little jealous that Bailey J didn't call me? Yeah, of course I am. I'm a little jealous Bailey J didn't call me. Am I a little jealous that Bailey J never answers the phone when I call her? Yes, maybe I am a little upset about that. Maybe every time am I out of line calling her 5 or 6 times a day? Maybe I am. Am I out of line calling her? Yes, maybe I am. From the waist up, she's a her, right? From the waist down, that's in play. That's a transsexual with a radio show, folks. Go look her up. Don't look her up. Do not Google that name, by the way. Let's put it this way. If you're going to Google Bailey J like in quotation marks and then the plus sign and then plus podcast, because then maybe you can avoid anything that you don't want to see from Bailey J. Or you can go to Bailey J's or go to the comedy page and look for mine and notice that I'm not there, and then you'll see Bailey J's podcast and just go ahead and download that. And by the way, if we're going to motion capture a podcast, it has to be Bailey J's podcast, right? I mean, you got to motion capture the transsexual podcast, right? Just to see what's happening over there. I just want to see the suit where they put the ping pong balls. That's what I want to see. But that's a sketch. You could do that. You could have like Maron and another guy sitting there in the ping pong ball suits doing an actual podcast, and then convert it to the fucking polygons, or I don't know what you guys do. I'm not a video gamer. I had to tell you, I wrote a script for a video game, or a bunch of scripts, a bunch of stuff. I wrote a ton of stuff. I wrote everything. No, I didn't. for Saints Row. Someone wrote me, our friend, who was it? Our friend Andrea wrote me, and to tell me that she's like, hey, do you know that you have an IMDb page? And I went and looked at it, and I wrote her back because I knew I had one, but somebody keeps updating it. I don't know if there's a bunch of IMDb gremlins who are updating everything and they find out what you've done, but I don't think the podcast is listed, if I remember correctly. But Cheap Seats, all my writing credits.
Producers submit that.
Really?
So it's all, yeah. It'll be pulled in.
Well, but Saints Row is even listed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense for IMDb. It's a video game. Why would that be listed?
Because it's voice acting work.
I'm supposed to actually, like, I should pay. You're supposed to pay to be premium IMDb. You pay for it? Really? What's it a year?
It's $15.99 a month.
$16 a month to what? To have my picture up there? Fuck that! I have a website already. You know what I mean? Jesus, that just seems ridiculous. By the way, why am I mad at the internet? What the? Who's mad? Everybody's gonna make money. It's so funny. Who am I to bitch at them for wanting to make money? Because I tell you, if you want to make money, charge actors money. That's it. That's how you will make money, folks. Because every fucking wannabe in the world figures that if they put their picture on IMDb, they will immediately be cast into some epic. Go to IMDb. Just put in any. That's a fun thing to do. Just play IMDb roulette and just put in any two names. Carter Williamson. Put that in, and eventually you'll find some actor named Carter Williamson, and he was in some short film in his hometown, and now he's got 9 headshots posted up there on IMDb. Let's think of another name. Troy Nickelmark. Go ahead, look up Troy Nickelmark. I'm sure he's on there. Troy Nickelmark is a fantastic actor. You may remember from his play with Carter Williamson. See, how do I do that? I pull 2 names out of the air and they just happen to work together. Fuck! I can't do. I connect. You know what? Williamson and Nickelmark. I can't mix them up. I'm sorry, Nickelmark and Williamson. Troy was the star. All right, so. But yeah, go to IMDb, man, and look for any of the. If you put in any name, you will find like 30 people, and you go over and they just someone who did some episode of Boy Meets World once, and those people are paying $16 a month to remain in the public consciousness because they need you to know that they were in Boy Meets World once. They one time, just once, they actually stood right next to Topanga. Oh my God, I would have killed to stand next to Topanga. I would have killed to stand under Topanga, quite frankly. Let's be honest. I'm a Topanga fan. Because she had that right mix of like girly and manly for me. And now we're back to Bailey J. Now, anyway, folks. I don't know what it is. I told you that. I had a type for a while. Where it was like, everybody's like, dude, you like linebacker looking chicks. And I'm just like, I don't think that's true. Here's my friend Lawrence. Some guy in a wig. No, that never happened. So, anyway, folks, hi. What the fuck was I talking about? Vomiting. All right, so I was at, this is in Vegas. This wasn't at an amusement park. It wasn't at Universal Studios. Because Universal Studios now is opening, I think, a Star Trek ride. And it's all virtual reality bullshit. And I did that Star Wars one in Vegas. And this was one of those things where it wasn't an amusement park. It's like you're walking through the hallway. Because Vegas is fucked. I mean, they want you to, say it again? It's at the Hilton. So you're walking through, and you know there's adult stuff to gamble and all that, and all you can eat lobster or whatever the fuck. But eventually, when you're like me, you're a child, and you don't want to go and play baccarat. So you walk around looking for anything. Because many times when I would go to Vegas, I would wind up in the basement of the Excalibur, throwing darts at balloons for shot glasses, because that's fun to me. I don't give a fuck. My friends would be upstairs playing cards, and I'd hang out for a little while, but then I'd go, look, dudes, I'll be downstairs playing Pitch-a-Witch. Like, honestly, that's what's fun for me. And folks, is there anything more fun than Pitch-a-Witch? No, there is not. Do you know what folks? I can hear you now. You saying you don't know what Pitch-a-Witch is. Are you kidding me? Do you know what whack-a-mole is? All right, if you're sitting there and a bunch of moles come out and you hit them with a mallet, whack-a-mole, done. But Pitch-a-Witch is even more fun because what it is you get a launch pad, and in the center there's all these like cauldrons. All right, you ever been to a carnival when you got to throw a dime and it lands on a plate, and then you win? I guess that plate. I don't know what you win. I forget. You know why I don't know? Because nobody's ever won the dime game at the goddamn carnival. David Spade has a great bit about it. Just in some bookie bookie carnival game where I can't remember the line. So. Some bookie carnival game where you're trying to get a dime to stop short on a plate skidded with Pam. I mean, it's like I can't even remember it, but it's that funny. Ping, ping. He does the noise. Fucking Spade. Why was he a dick to me? All right, so the Pitch-a-Witch is a game where you get stuffed witches. like actual dowels of witches, and you have to put them on a launch pad. And you get a little like rubber hammer, and you have to hit the launch pad and pitch the witch into a cauldron as it spins around. It's got a bunch of different cauldrons, but because I'm a dick, what I would do is I would go play Pitch a Witch, and I didn't give a shit about the cauldron. All right. They would give me the witch, and I would put it down, and I would strongman the shit out of it, like as hard as I could, just to see how far I could make the witch fly across the goddamn casino. And so I would do it. They'd line up the witch, and I would do this stupid. I would fucking Ed Norton it, where I would like put it and I'd line it up, and I'd go you get like 3 witches for one pitch. So I would do it differently. I'd do it upside down, or I'd do it sideways, and to see which one traveled farther. And I did it. Look. I paid, and the guy gave me the witches, and he's like, all right, and he's doing the whole Buki, hey, you got to get into the cauldron for a prize, you got to win. And I would put the witch down, and I was like, I'm measuring it. He's like, oh, and he's making fun of me because that's their job. They're barkers, they got to be silly and stuff, unless you get the other guys who don't give a fuck at all, who just like stand there and just they take your money and stare because they're children and they don't want to fucking participate. But I got a barker guy the night I did it, and he's like, oh, look at this, you got to try to win a prize, and all that bullshit. And I put up the witch, and I'm aligning it, and I'm pretending like I have a system. All right, I'm pretending like I have. And he's like, oh, this guy taking it very seriously, he's got a system, he's gonna go ahead and try to get into the cauldron. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be able to do it. And I'm lining it up, and I fucking get the rubber hammer, and I'm looking, and I'm waiting for the cauldron to spin around. He goes, waiting for just the right cauldron. And I lean back, and I just fucking reared back as hard as I could, and bam, I fucking hit it, and the witch flew like 30 feet. Like it went over the cauldrons. It went over the dart game. I think it landed on a fucking kid shooting a squirt gun into a clown's mouth. But it was worth it because to fucking like to line it up and pretend like I was really trying to win, and this guy's doing he's doing all of his fucking carnival burger shit, and then wham, I hammer it, and he's just like, whoa, and it went flying across the casino, and everybody standing around laughed because they got it. Like that was the great part, was like not everybody, all right, some people thought I was a fucking idiot. Granted, that's fine, because you know why? Because I am a fucking idiot. Because who would pitch a witch all the way across the room? You're supposed to win a prize. You're pitching a witch into a cauldron. You're not pitching a witch all the way across the fucking room. So I shot it, and it fucking flew. And he's just like, whoa! And some people laughed, and some people were like, what a dick. And then I got the second witch, and he's like, all right, killer, you might want to back off a little bit. Try to win a prize here. You got to get into the center, into the cauldron. I'm like, oh, I go, it takes me a couple to get warmed up. And he's like, all right, well, you don't have to hit it that hard. And then like another person was playing, he's here, watch them. And it was like a little kid, and he hit it and went like buffed off the cauldron. He's like, he didn't make it in, but that's what you want to do. You want to go, you want to kind of, and I'm like, no problem. So then I line up the witch, and I lean back, and then bam, and I fucking sent it flying again. And he's just like, oh, you're not getting the hang of this at all. Like he was totally playing along with it. And then other people finally, it was like, all right, I will say this. When you do it once, there's that shock of people laughing, like it's hilarious. You do it twice, you're a dick. You're just a dick at that point. But that's what I was. I didn't give a fuck because I didn't want to be upstairs with my friends holding their chips. I don't want to fucking play cards. I want to pitch a witch, goddammit. That's why I'm in Vegas. So sure enough, then the third one came up, and he just looks at me and he goes, you don't even care about the cauldron at all, do you? And I would go, no. I go, this time it makes sense. I go, the first two, I'm calibrating. But the third one is when I go for a prize. He's like, all right, we got plenty of prizes up here. Let's see if you can do it. Everybody stand back, because he knew. And sure enough, I like line it up, and bam, I sent it flying across the fucking room again. And the best part is it kept landing like over by the people with the squirt guns and the clowns. And they were just like, all right, they throw the witch back. Awful. But I don't give a shit because it's fucking hysterical. That's what I'm there for, baby. Pitch a goddamn witch. Don't put it in if you don't want guys to abuse it. Don't pretend that you're gonna like we're all gonna play it right. I don't play by the rules, damn it. So that's what Vegas does. They try to tempt you with all this other ridiculous bullshit that they have. So at Excalibur, they have all those carnival games. And then at the Hilton, as Elise mentioned, they had this fucking Star Trek thing. And what it was, or Star Wars, fuck. If it was Star Trek, I walk by. I don't even look twice. Who the fuck wants to be virtual Captain Kirk? I can speak haltingly on my own. I don't need to pay $8 for the privilege. So I walk by, and there's this Star Wars thing, and you know what it looks like? It just looks like a big RV, but it's not even that big. It looks like a minivan. That's what it looks like. It just looks like a minivan, and they're like, hey, Star Wars is in this minivan, which seems like a great strategy for a molester, doesn't it? Isn't that what you would do? Because fuck candy. Kids can get candy anywhere these days. But if you saw a kid and you're like, hey, dude, I got Han Solo and a Wookiee right here in this goddamn Chevy Astro van. Leap in. That kid's in seconds. In seconds. Hey kids, hop in and check out Greedo. I got Greedo and Boba Fett right here in the front seat. First, take your pants off. Kid takes his pants off. Look, we all know you can't see Greedo with your pants on, all right? Right? You saw the movies. Anyone who took an audience with Greedo had to take their pants off immediately. So yeah, that seems like a great trick to get a kid into your van. God, I got Star Wars in this van. Because you used to paint shit on the outside to trick a kid. Now you're like, hey, guess what? I got Star Wars in the van. Done. But that's what it looks like. It looks like a big fucking minivan. And you climb in and there's a screen and you're strapped in and it shakes you around. Like if you see it from the outside, it just looks like people fucking in a van. That's what it looks like. So again, we're getting back to the molester theme. It's like, hey kid, I got Star Wars, and then the van starts shaking. Maybe he really does have Star Wars in that van. I can tell you what, when that kid goes to therapy years from now, he's going to say, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's how he's going to relate what happened to him as a child. So this van just starts shaking around. You get inside and there's a screen and the seats are weird. Like when stuff happens, the seats move. Whatever the fuck. I got in it, and this is when I was 500-pound me, so that's dangerous to stuff me into any small area. But then I'm jammed in there. I talked about this. I swear to God I talked about this. But I got in it, and it starts fucking shaking, and you're supposedly driving, and you're chasing people in space and all this other bullshit. And by I was going to get sick. I'm like, I'm going to throw up in this car. Did I not talk about this? Man, how many stories of vomit do I have, for fuck's sake? So sure enough, it was shaking. I had to close my eyes. I had to write it out because we've done that before. We talked about that where I was at the movie with you, and I closed my eyes for like 40 minutes because I knew I was gonna fucking puke, and I had to watch Speed with one eye covered. I'm a lady. I am a goddamn lady, folks. So maybe you don't. You know what? If you put me in that green suit with the fucking ping pong balls, I'd probably get sick just from the thought of motion capturing me. I mean, it would magnify things so much that when I would start walking. So anyway, so I was in that van and I was watching Star Wars and I had to close my eyes and I got sick and I could feel it. And it was like that thing where you get, I don't want to say this, but you know what I'm talking about. When water starts rushing in your mouth, like that thing, and you're like, this is bad. I can't. And so I closed my eyes and everybody else is like, woo, yay. And I'm like, I'm going to vomit on everybody. And all I could think of, there was a time, I don't know if I may have told this story. My mom, when she was a kid, she used to tell us this story of danger. Whenever we'd go to a amusement park or a carnival or anything, she'd be like, don't eat and go on the rides. Like, you don't want to do that because, if you want to go on the rides and then eat and then rest and walk. And she told this story that she had a brother and sister that were twins. So the three of them, it was my Uncle Mike, my Aunt Marge, and my mom. And the three of them went on the rotor. If you don't know what the rotor is, it's the world's most dangerous game. All right, they always say hunting man is most dangerous game. Fuck that. The most dangerous ride in the world is the rotor, because all the rotor is, it's a circle. All right, and you stand up in it, and you're belted, and then it spins. It's like you're strapped to a fucking propeller. All right, that's all it is. Yeah, and here's the thing: you're standing on a floor and you're up against the wall, and it's spinning, 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 and then the floor drops out, and centrifugal force keeps you pinned to the wall. So it's spinning and spinning and spinning, and then the floor drops out, and you can't move. Like, you try to lift your arms up, and you're pinned because of the force of the spinning. And I loved it when I was a kid. I would ride on it, I would ride it like 2-3 times in a row. I thought it was fucking hysterical. Even though my mom told me this story, she and her brother and sister get on the ride. They're on the rotor. It's spinning around super fast, and there's a guy next to my aunt and my uncle, and he's just like, "Oh, you got to stop the ride." And my mom's like, they're laughing because they're kids. Ha ha ha. And this guy's like, you got to stop the ride. And they're spinning and the floor drops out and they're all pinned against the wall. And he's like, and everybody's got their eyes closed. And this guy next to my aunt and my uncle throws up on the rotor as it's spinning at max speed. Everybody gets hit. Everybody. He vomited on the rotor as it was spinning with the floor dropped out, and it's a goddamn spirograph at that point. It's just you're in a spin art machine and everybody's getting a coat. Everybody got a coat. And my mom said it was like Stand By Me when in the pie eating contest where one guy pukes and everybody pukes and then everybody at the fucking, sure enough, she said that he puked and then another person puked on the rotor and they fucking, and of course, these are fucking carnival dudes who live for that moment. Like, you don't think that those dudes, because they didn't stop the ride, you know that they were laughing their balls off watching it happen. And she said, my mom said she just wrote it out. Like, it was on her dress and she got, stuff all over her. And finally the rotor stops and everybody wanted to murder that guy, but he's like, what do you want me to do? And then, because the other guy got sick too. And then they all walked off and everybody's just coated in vomit. Yeah, not good. This is a vomit-soaked show. I don't know if I like it. Because I've had that happen to me too. I talked about that when I went to the carnival. Did I talk about that carnival I went to, or Rick Springfield? I talked about that a million years ago, right? By year 1 or year 2. I don't know if I told that. And you know what? If I didn't tell that story, let me know, and I'll tell it. I don't know if I did or I didn't. It might, because I think I told it on the shows like before you. Karen and I went to a carnival where Rick Springfield was playing at a church by my house. And then I got sick. I was in a ride, and I looked down. I was in the Salt and Pepper Shakers, and I was looking down at the parking lot. And I went, "This is a stupid way to die." Like, I literally, in my brain, thought, "This is a stupid way to die." And then I got out of the thing, and I got sick. I vomited in a garbage can, and everybody made fun of me. All the guys in the beer garden kept making fun of me. And then whenever I would go to play a carnival game, and they're like, "You sure you can handle this?" Like, they kept making fun of me because I got sick, and I'm just like, "Oh, okay, all right." But it didn't matter because at that point I was the guy who threw up and everybody saw it because I staggered out of the fucking ride and threw up in a garbage can in full view of everybody at the goddamn carnival. There was nothing I could do about it. I told that story, right? No, but that's funny. Oh, I didn't tell it? Oh, whatever. So there's the capsule version of it. Well, great. Now I've burned a story for no reason. Fuck. Because I think I told it. I swear to God, I told it. Whatever. I was in the Salt and Pepper Shakers, and it's the most dangerous ride. The rotor is bad, but at least you're standing there. You're not going to fall. I mean, centrifugal force will prevent any bad things from happening to you. But motherfucker, on the Salt and Pepper Shakers, a loose bolt, and you wind up going head first into the goddamn parking lot, dying in a rusted out tube. I mean, what the fuck? I'd rather die in the Star Wars machine in Vegas. At least there's some glamour there. I'd rather get hit in the head by a pitched witch and fucking get taken out than die in a Salt and Pepper Shakers in a fucking church parking lot. Jesus Christ. Rick Springfield or no Rick Springfield. But yeah, so I staggered out of it and I just fucking vomited right there. Oh, it was awful. Awful. And but even worse was the being made fun of by everybody in the beer garden. Then the rest of it, and part of me is just like, I'm going to come and vomit on all of you. You don't make fun of a guy who threw up because I'll just vomit on all of you. I'm like a vomit monster at this point. I have no dignity or no shame anymore. I just vomited in an open garbage can in front of children. Don't think I won't wander into the beer garden and fuck everything up. I don't care. I already saw Rick Springfield and he's gone. I couldn't possibly embarrass myself in front of him. If he was still there, I'd care what I looked like, quite frankly, because we all know at some point Rick Springfield's going to see me and want to be friends with me. I know that's going to happen. But at that point, he's gone. He left. He did his shows and he bailed from the church. And now it's just me and a bunch of dudes in a beer garden. I don't give a shit. I'll fucking fire hose vomit all over everybody in the goddamn place. They should make me a booth. You know what? You should have to shoot me with a squirt gun in the balls until I vomit all over the kid who's shooting me. That's great. It's like when they inflate the balloon. It's perfect. I like this. I'm inventing all sorts of stuff today. I invented Mark Maron virtual motion capture podcast, and I invented the vomit guy at the fucking carnival who gets shot in the balls with a squirt gun. God damn it. I am changing the summer. This summer's going to be awesome. And by awesome, I am mispronouncing horrible. His name is Benjamin Birch. His name is Benjamin Birch. His name is Benjamin Birch. Her name is Erica Rosen. Her name is Erica Rosen. Her name is Erica Rosen. I was talking about Boston, I think, at some point. That's coming up this weekend, folks. June 1st at the Cambridge YMCA Theater. Friday night. Tickets are on sale at brownpapertickets.com right now. Tickets will be available at the door, I think. That's right, folks. I think they'll be available at the door. I booked this show in Boston and everything was fine. I thought it was great. And now I just keep getting fucking emails that change everything. I told you last week about the noise curfew. So I wanted to start the show at 8 o'clock. And there's a noise curfew again, and I guess it's people who live in the YMCA. Like some guy made a line like it was apartments attached to the building, and in my head I'm like, what the fuck are apartments attached to them? How thin are these floors? But then another guy wrote me and he said, yeah, we have about 120 residents here at the YMCA, and I'm like, oh my god, well. This weekend it's going to be really fun to stay there because I'm going to be fucking hilarious and you'll be able to hear me through your walls. Who cares how fucking late I go? But so that's the thing. So we had to change from 8 o'clock to 7:30. So the show's at 7:30 this weekend. And so I thought, fine. All right, 7:30 show. I don't want to do it, but that's okay. And I had a tech guy. There's a guy who runs it, and he told me there would be a tech guy helping me out. So the tech guy was the guy who initially told me about the noise curfew. So I had made arrangements with him. I said, do you need my cue sheet? Do you, and I need this mic stand, I need a table, all these arrangements. He's like, no problem, but this noise curfew is a big deal. I'll hook you up with the other guy. And once I got that straightened out, I said, all right, fine, we're all straight. And then the tech guy wrote me and he goes, hey, unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing your tech now. You're going to have to get another guy. I've referred him and I CC'd him here on the email, so he's going to help you out. This is, 5 days before the performance, and I don't know. This guy doesn't know me. He doesn't know the cues. And the other guy didn't either. But because, again, my cues aren't that big a deal. It's lights off, music on. Who fucking cares? But still, when you try to explain it to people, they kind of give you that glazed-eyed look. And that's why, inevitably, when I'm on the road, a song starts for no reason. And people are like, what the fuck just happened? This whole thing's a mess. Why the fuck do I even do it? So sure enough, now I got this second guy, tech guy. So I got to write him. So I write him a note, and I'm like, look, here's and I just sent him the cue sheet. Because I had asked the other guy if he wanted it, and he never fucking answered me. That's another thing. They keep writing me notes, and I go, okay, well, here, how about this? Is this going to be okay? And they never fucking answer me. The guy in Cleveland did that to me, too. Did I mention that on here? Don was great. Cleveland turned out to be really great. But Don, for a week, I would be contacting him, and he would write me back. It was like this. I would say, hey, Don, here's the thing. I need to know if I can get a table. I need to know if I have a mic stand. I need to know what time you're going to be there. I need all that. And then he'd write me back, and he'd be like, Mike, looking forward to the show. Going to give you a call as soon as I can. Dude, if you're going to write me an email, answer the fucking questions in the email. You don't have to fucking call me. I don't have to call you. Just answer the questions. And I busted his balls on stage at the show, and he laughed, thank God. He turned out to be a great guy. But I said to him, why the fuck do you not, why do you return emails? That's the weirdest thing. You return them with no information in them whatsoever. Just literally like, got it, heads up, take care of yourself. All right, like all these platitudes and bullshit. Answer the fucking question, man. I'm writing you just so I know what the fuck, because I'm flying to a different town. I have no handlers. It's me. Answer my fucking question. So Boston, I keep asking questions about can I get a table, and nobody will answer me. They're just like, hey, noise curfew. They're all, I'm the talent, motherfucker. Take care of me, for fuck's sake. All right, I paid to rent your house. I understand they're all about taking care of their thing, their noise curfew. You'll be out here, and my tech guy, and I get that. But fucking answer my questions. Baby me a little bit. Hold my hand through this, motherfucker. I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to a city I've never been to. Whatever. I don't know any of you motherfuckers. I booked you over the internet. So I get this fucking never-ending email chain of this is getting canceled, noise curfew, blah, blah, blah. Finally, they refer me to the other the tech guy, noise guy. Might as well be a noise guy. So I write him, and I go, look, you know what? I'm tired of this. Here's the cue sheet. You now have it. I need a table. I need a mic stand. I'm just telling you now that I need them. I'm not asking if they're available. I need them. And fine, noise curfew, I'm starting at 7:30. Then I'm doing a meet and greet afterwards where I'm taking photos and selling shirts. This is how it is. I'm done asking permission from these motherfuckers, okay? Then I had written this guy, because I have to set up chairs, okay? And a lot of you people have been, oh man, when are we going to set up chairs? Are we going to set up chairs? And I have to. But I keep asking them, and he kept going, yeah, it's fine. Thursday's great. Well, when? When can I come Thursday? What time? What can I do? What does that entail? Do I need a key? I'm asking these questions and nobody's answering me. What the fuck? So finally today in this email, I just wrote this long ass fucking email, and I'm like, look, all right, new tech guy, here's the sheet. I need this. And then old tech guy, whatever, take care of yourself. And the guy who owns the place, I'm coming to set up chairs, and I'm coming Thursday. I wanted to make a thing of it because some people who listen to the show said they wanted to come and join me. So I need to know. I prefer to do it a little later in the day, like maybe 3 o'clock or maybe even 1 or 2. I just need to know when you're available and what do I need a key? What the fuck? And then again, he writes me back and he goes, good to set up chairs Thursday. And then just signs his name. That's all he wrote. So you know what? I'm going there at midnight on Thursday and just pounding on the door. I'm just going to show up at fucking midnight. Poof, 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 poof. I have to set up chairs. You said it was okay. Poof, 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 poof. And some fucking hobo who lives at the YMCA can wander out and let me in. The YMCA? He lives at the YMCA, doesn't he? God damn it. Fuck you. I'm not even going to say all your letters. You don't deserve it. You're a 3-letter building as far as I'm concerned. So, no, but that's bullshit. So I actually put it on the Boston page today to people. I said, hey, look, we can set up chairs on Thursday. I can't do it Thursday night because I have a thing. The Kickstarter listener, I'm going to dinner with that guy, Andrew, on Thursday night. So we're going to set up chairs on Thursday day. And I even wrote on the page, I go, look, if we do it early enough, maybe we can all go to lunch like the little rascals. Like we'll all get together and we'll set up chairs and then we'll all march out as a crew and go to lunch somewhere. And so as I sit here recording this now on Tuesday night, I just double checked my Facebook and people were like, I'm in, just need the details. All right, I'm in. And then Martin is a guy, he's donated to the show, really cool guy, nice guy. And I did his podcast actually. And he wrote, waiting for details. That was like a few hours ago because I posted it and then I went to bed. Because, Martin, I sleep in the daytime, man. I'm a vampire, remember? And then when I wake up, I got to come right here and record a fucking show because I got a plane in the morning at 7 o'clock. So I'm a little under the gun here. So I apologize for not being able to monitor Facebook every fucking second. But I just went on Facebook now and there's a note from Martin. He goes, we're waiting. Hey, Martin, you don't have to fucking show up and set up any chairs, all right? You're not waiting for anything. I don't care. Don't show up. I'll do it myself. I mean, I put it up there because I said, hey, let me know. And I'm trying to get a group of people to see who wants to do it. You know what I mean? It's like, I wasn't going to individually answer everybody and I'm not staring at fucking Facebook waiting for names to come up. I'll get to it. We're waiting. Fuck you, Ted Knight and Caddyshack. I'll give you an answer when I got one.
Oh my gosh.
All of my noise curfew rage has been transferred onto Martin. We're waiting. God damn it. Don't come. All right. How mean is that? Martin donated. Martin wanted to pay for my hotel in Boston, and I shit on him here on the show. But I actually, when I check into the hotel, I should call Martin. I'm waiting. All right. So I'm excited to go to Boston. Sure sounds like it, doesn't it? I sound so excited. Oh, bullshit. You know what? There's another thing. All right. I forgot to mention this. In our back and forth, and in our emails, as I found out about tables and microphone stands and all that, I also wrote them and I said, hey, I'll bring the will call list when I come to the show on Friday. I just need to know who's running the front of the house, who collects the tickets and all that kind of stuff. If anybody, chuckle. I just need to know so I can bring them the list, and if they want to even contact me via email, whoever it is. Because when I go to certain cities, every city I go to, there's a ticket person or the sound person does the tickets. In Milwaukee, that's what happened. Who knows? So the guy who runs the YMCA Theater wrote me back and said, you are responsible for your own tickets. You are responsible for front of the house. This is 3 days for the show. I'm responsible for collecting tickets and collecting walk-up money from anybody who wants to walk up and checking names off the will call. So here's my appeal to you folks. If you're coming to the show in Boston, just fucking seat yourselves. I mean, I'm going to talk to the sound guy and say, look, every city I go to, the sound guy does it or somebody else does it because there's more than one person. Hey, and look, it's the fucking YMCA. There's 100 guys living there. Get one of these junkies out to earn $5 and run my fucking, $20. I'll give him $20. If one of these fucking hobos wants to earn $20 to just take a yellow pen and check names off and smile at people before they go and sit down, I'll do it. I don't care. But just to be dismissed out of hand with you running your own front of the house. But no, how? I'm on the fucking stage. How the fuck am I running front of the house? He's like, don't you have a friend that can do it? Oh yeah, I got plenty of. I usually fly a guy out to run the front of the house. That's how big my show is. Because I booked it in a fucking YMCA. That's how popular I am that I can just go ahead and book every YMCA all across America, and I fly out my own road crew to fucking take care of it. Jesus Christ. You might as well tell me to bring my own microphone and table. I mean, what the fuck? It is. I'm sure it is. Because, you know, it's my fault for booking these venues. Because I'm nobody. All right. I get that. I'm fucking nobody. If I could play in a real place or a real theater, then that would be fine. Then I could go ahead and not concentrate on all this little bullshit. Actually, I still would have to. Who am I kidding? I could play the fucking Carnegie Hall and they'd still say, hey, who's running the ticket booth? I mean, fuck. So the point is, if you're coming to the show, great. And you'll be on a list of will call. You'll have your tickets and all that. Bring them to the show, and I'll sign them. I'll do whatever you want with them. If you're planning to walk up to the show, I'm just going to throw this out there now. You're probably going to get in, all right, and you're not going to have to pay because there's going to be nobody at the front. So I'm going to ask you with the honor system if you'll come up and give me $20 after the show. Because I will not be there to police it. So anybody who walks up to buy tickets, you're just going to get in because there's going to be nobody at the goddamn front. Which also makes me laugh because it's like, how do you have, so is the general public just going to be able to wander in from the street in this YMCA and nobody works the theater box office? Nobody? It just seems ridiculous. What do you do when you have other shows there? Anybody can just walk the fuck in? But I guess it's all local people. It's all local improv troupes. They have a guy who runs the fucking booth. Hey, you know what? Let's check this back. Who wants to run the booth for me this weekend? How awful is that? Nobody wants to run the booth. Why would you? Because you'd have to get there at 6 for a fucking 7:30 show and then sit there and check names off and make... fuck. I can't... And this isn't that big a deal. All right, it's not that big a deal. I'm making it a big deal. I get that. But it just, when you get this news 3 days out and you hear, you're like, oh, I'm responsible for that? I'm responsible for this too? You might as well tell me I need to invent electricity in order to fucking talk in the venue. I mean, it's just crazy to me. Whatever the fuck. So bottom line is, if you're coming to the show, hey, I'm sorry you paid for tickets because you would have got in free anyway. Yeah, it is. I mean, because there's nobody there to police it. Anybody who fucking walks up can just get in. If you walk up to buy a ticket and then and there's nobody there and nobody sells your ticket or nobody takes your admission money, again, I'm asking you on the honor system, come up to me afterwards and give me $20 because that's what tickets cost. And if you choose not to do that, and you know what, maybe you come in for free and you watch the show and at the end of it you feel it wasn't worth $20, then just walk out. Don't come up to me and tell me it wasn't worth fucking $20. I don't fucking care. Good, you stole my show. Because I already give people free shows on the internet every week. God forbid you pay to see me live once. I love how I twisted around on them like they're the villains because the fucking YMCA won't put up one hobo to work the front door. That's all you need. What the fuck? Stop. You know what? Stop jerking each other off in the shower, gay hobos, and come down and work my desk. Yeah. Who else lives at the YMCA? I know there's a cop who lives there. There's a construction worker who lives there. There's an Indian who works there. There's a leather guy who works there. That's it. Actually, I think there's one more guy who lives there, isn't there?
You look at it. Come on.
There's a construction worker who lives there. There's an Indian who lives there. Did I mention him? There's an Indian, a construction worker, a police officer, and a leather guy. That's who lives there. Is there a pilot? Mark, do you live there? My friend Pilot Mark? There's somebody else. Hold on. There's an Indian. Don't tell me. No, I don't want to know. I will figure this out. You know what's funny is that if I can't remember this should be the guy who has to work the front. If I remember, because he's obviously not memorable at all, so he needs to do something to make himself stand out in my mind. So volunteer your time, mystery YMCA resident. Because there's a cop who lives there, there's an Indian who lives there, there's a construction worker who lives there, and there's a leather guy who lives there. And I love the leather guy because, again, he has no occupation. The other guys at least have jobs. The leather guy, he just constantly mooches off them. Nah, not really. Not a paying job.
Oh, it pays.
Come on. I swear to God, they hung out with a fifth dude. It was not a 4-piece. They had a fifth guy who hung out with them, for fuck's sake. Look, I know they were all in the Navy. All right, I know that. They all met in the Navy, and then when they got out of the Navy, was it a Navy guy? It was a sailor? It's not a sailor. That seems too on the nose. Even the YMCA guys decided that the sailor was too on the nose. Because they got out of the Navy and they said, dude, we need to get jobs, real jobs. You know, like Leatherman. There was a cop, there was a Leatherman, there was an Indian, and the construction worker. And I know the guy, they had a fifth guy. Was it, you know, I apologize. You know who the fifth guy was? Malcolm McLaren. That's who the fifth guy was. It was Malcolm McLaren. Ever get the feeling that you've been cheated, folks? All right. So, God damn it. I swear to God, there was a fifth guy. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. You know what? Forget it. If I can't, you know what? If I can't think of it, there wasn't a fifth guy. Obviously, he wasn't memorable enough. This is not on me. This is on you, unmemorable fifth member of the YMCA crew. All right.
Funnier.
By the way, they're a gang. They're the YMCA crew. It's a gang. Just why can't they come down? They're not. Because what does an Indian do on Friday night? He does nothing. Come down and run my booth, Indian. So, folks. So people are trying to get me to go all over town, all over the world for their pages. So I had a guy write me to go to Florida. He wants to start a Florida page. And after recent events in Florida this particular week, I don't think I'm ever going to be in the state. I have to be truly honest with you folks. I want to thank all of you who immediately thought of me the second you heard that story. You know what I'm talking about, right? In Florida, the zombie apocalypse has started. We've seen this story, yes? And I'm not. And look, the thing is, I didn't even want to talk about this. I wasn't going to talk about it because it's one of those things everybody has talked about, but only if you're on social media. Like it went crazy on Facebook and all this stuff. But I have to talk about it because people keep writing me. Because I'm your guy when it comes to zombie apocalypse information. People wrote me, and here's how great it was. I don't know when it happened. It happened like 3 days ago or whatever. Some dude Twittered me at 1 a.m. I was at my work. It happened Saturday in the afternoon. He Twittered me at 1 a.m, and this is all it said. It's starting! And the link to the story. And if you haven't seen the story, which I find it hard to believe that you haven't seen it, but in Florida, a guy ate another guy. That's it. That's all I need to say. In Florida, there was a homeless dude, and they found him eating another homeless dude. And look, right away when you see that a guy is eating another guy, you think zombie apocalypse. Of course, we all do. So I see the story and I'm reading it, and initially when I see the headline, guy eats another guy, whatever the fuck the headline was, I'm like, all right, well it makes you think of zombies, but not really. All right. And it's funny because everybody's like, haha, zombie apocalypse. And you guys think everybody thinks it's funny. Like they think it's cute. It's like they're sending it around like a viral story. Haha, this is hilarious. It's starting. Huh? Why are you joking, folks? Why are you joking about the obvious start of the zombie apocalypse? Aren't you ready for it? Maybe you're all ready for it. Maybe that's why it's a big joke to you. You're like, well, we've been preparing all this time and haha, look, it's finally starting. No, fuck, it's finally starting. This is horrible. This is horrible news. The only good news is that it started in Florida. Okay, so that leaves me to leave two things. One, I'm on the West Coast, so it gives me plenty of time to prepare. I'll assume it's going to have to move west. All right. But secondly, if it starts in Florida, maybe we can quarantine it to Florida. And that's a fucking win-win for this whole country, right? Don't you think? Let's just let Florida be zombie food. Let's do that. Let's somehow, right now, fuck building a Mexican border. We should get the Mexicans to build a fence between us and Florida. And even if there wasn't a zombie apocalypse, that seems like a pretty good idea, right? Let's build a fence between us and Florida. What the fuck is wrong with Florida? And by the way, when you heard that the zombie apocalypse was starting, didn't the first thing you say was Florida? Isn't that the first thing that came to your brain? You knew they did something down there. There was some mix-up, or they were making some new drug that was going to turn people into fucking zombies. You knew it was going to start in the swamps in fucking Florida. God damn it. What is wrong with you people? Put down the meth and enjoy your weather. I mean, it's nice, right? Oh, no, actually, you've got those giant cockroaches. What the fuck? Florida's an awful place. And it's like Mars with old people and Cubans. Jesus Christ. Fence it off. The fucking and so then I read about the zombie apocalypse and I read in the story and everybody thinks it's funny, okay? Because they're like, all they read was the face eating part and like, haha, and because we're all detached and we all have to be ironic and keep things at arm's length, a guy ate another fucking guy. Why is that funny to all of you people? Holy shit! And then I'm reading the story and this, all right, look, zombie apocalypse, guy eating guy, whatever the fuck, that's fine, but you can also write it off. You could say, well, maybe a guy just ate another guy because it's happened before, all right? Jeffrey Dahmer ate dudes all the time, and nobody was like, zombie apocalypse. Everybody's just like, no, crazy dude in Milwaukee, right? So when you hear this story, you're like, crazy dude in Florida. You could very much chalk it up to that. You could just say, well, a crazy dude in Florida went crazy and ate a guy. And again, because it's Florida, you can explain it away and just go, Florida. Instead of zombie apocalypse, you went, Florida. But here's what makes this zombie apocalypse. Here's what makes this story the precursor for the zombies. In the story itself, the guy's eating the guy's face, all right? And the cops show up. Well, first of all, a road ranger, which made me laugh. They said a road ranger saw him, which made me think of the ranger from Yogi Bear cartoons. I don't know why I did. Like Ranger, whatever the fuck that dude's name was. So I pictured a dude in like that, blue, like a Hanna-Barbera brown suit and a pith helmet. And because again, it's Florida. Maybe you have those fucking people roaming around. The fact that you even need to have road rangers who assist police by finding crime. I mean, that's how bad it is. You actually have a second police force that's not authorized to be police. All they can do is call police. They're the not police force. That's what you have. You have a police force and a not police force of dudes who just drive around looking for crime and contacting the police. Jesus fuck. Clean it up, Florida. So, sure enough, a road ranger at 2, and that's the thing, 2:00 in the afternoon. Like, that's even scarier for zombie apocalypse. If this happened in the middle of the night in like a field somewhere, everybody's like, but now there was a naked dude eating another dude on the freeway. That's the thing, is he wouldn't even drag him into a hole, that's why it's zombies. That's why you got to understand, zombies don't give a fuck. They're indiscriminate about where they eat people. They'll eat people on the freeway. They don't Jeffrey Dahmer took him into an apartment and he boiled them up, and it was because he knew, even though Jeffrey Dahmer was eating people and he thought that was good and he was having all this sex, he knew it was shameful. He knew he shouldn't be doing it out in public, so he kept his shades pulled. Pull your shades, Florida. I guess that's the message I'm bringing to you, Florida. Pull your goddamn shades. We don't want to see you eating each other. But instead, this guy is eating another dude on the causeway. A road ranger happens by and sees it happening. So he calls the cops, of course, because he knows not to get involved. He's only a road ranger. They're not paying him to fight off zombies. He's paid to drive around, see something bad, and make a phone call. So he calls the cops, and another woman sees it, and she sees it from the street, and another guy sees it from the street. They watch it happen, and this guy continues to eat this other person's face. The cops show up. And this cop says, hey, get away from him. And the guy will not. The guy continues to eat the face. And come on. In the story, the cop warns him 3 times. Florida. If you see a person eating another person's face, I got to think even one warning is too much. One warning is too much at that point. If you see a guy eating a dude's face, you got to intervene somehow. You got to call in a missile strike. You got to hire the road rangers to band together and run over this dude. Something is happening that you need to stop. This guy's eating someone's face. Do you think he's waiting for a wake-up call? Hey, you're eating that guy's face. Stop. What's that? Oh my word. What? Where are my pants? Why is my mouth full of flesh? That guy's not waiting for a wake-up call. He's just going to gnaw through to that guy's brain. Shoot this motherfucker. So sure enough, the cop yells like 3 times. He's like, stop, stop, stop. And they approached him. They kept getting closer. And then finally the 3rd time, he's like, stop eating that guy. Which, by the way, that has got to be a tough day at the academy. Really, when they're training the police and they're like, all right, if you come across a guy eating a guy, what do, Johnson? Well, I warn him immediately. Really? How many times? I think 3 times is good. I think 3 times is enough to warn a guy to stop eating another guy before I go ahead and use deadly force. And then the academy, they were like, sure. Really? Is that what they said? No, bullshit. If I run the police academy, it's like, at this point, when this story comes out, every police academy across the nation had to implement some sort of zombie training, right? They must have. We don't want to wind up like that dick in Florida who yelled 3 times. So sure enough, the 3rd time he says, stop eating that guy, the dude looks up and growls at him with a mouthful of flesh. And again, that doesn't scream zombie to you folks. Because there are people who are like joking. They're joking with zombie apocalypse, and then they're like kind of chuckling and just like, haha, not really. Bullshit. This is the zombie apocalypse starting, and here's why. Because not only did he growl with a mouthful of flesh, not only did he eat a guy in broad daylight on the causeway naked, it took 6 shots to put this guy down. 6 fucking shots. That when I read that, I will not lie to you. I got chills reading that part of it. Basically, this cop had to empty his gun into this dude to get him to stop eating that other guy. There's only 2 explanations at that point, folks. 1, zombie apocalypse. 2, that guy must have been delicious. How good did that guy taste that it took 6 bullets to get him to stop eating him? Kind of makes you rethink the cannibalism thing a little bit, right? If that guy's willing to take 6 fucking shots. So then they're speculating about why he did it. Why? Like, you know why he did it? Because he's a fucking zombie. That's it. That's all we need to know. But no, they're all speculating. They're like, oh, first, then I heard it was acid. They were like, oh, he's high on acid. And it's funny because I've talked on this show that I wanted to take acid before. Remember, we were going to do it. We were going to get acid, and I wasn't going to record during it, but I was going to do acid and see what happened. And then you see a story like this, and it's like, fuck, I was going to do acid. But I got to be honest with you, folks. I still want to do acid. Now I think more than ever, I still want to do acid. I think just because I want to see if I can fight off the urge to eat a guy's face. I mean, that's fucking awesome. Because if it starts, because look, I'll have now. I know to have that safety in place. I know that I can tell people, look, if I start to look hungry or if I start to think about eating your face, run, just run, lock me in the house, do something. But I'm not going to trip like that. That's not going to fucking happen. And my favorite part is they all said that cop was a hero. Like, hey, this cop's a hero for stopping this. Guess what? He didn't stop anything. Because have you seen the pictures online? They have pictures of the dude with the eaten face. His face is gone. It's gone. Except for, here's the best part, the only thing that was left was his goatee. He ate everything but the goatee. So even zombies hate goatees. That's hysterical to me. And that's why I have a goatee, folks. You always, because people are like, oh, dude, you shouldn't have a goatee. Bullshit. Because I know that once the zombies come, even if they eat 3/4 of my face, at least my mouth will stay intact and I can still do this show for you folks. That's right. Because I am always thinking about you. Even in the midst of a zombie attack where they're eating the flesh from my face, I will hope that it takes place on a Monday, so I'm okay by Wednesday to give you guys a show. I did something, even a Tuesday. I'll do a Tuesday record. I'll be honest, if a zombie eats my face, we might have to go to a best of that week. We might have to go with the best of. But then the week after that, I'll be ready. I'll be ready to go. He ate this dude's face. Go look at the pictures. It's literally, and it's funny because nothing is left but the goatee. His eyelids are gone, nose, everything else is fucking gone. And the cops, when they asked the cops about the victim, and I guess it was another homeless guy, and they said, well, he's in the hospital now. We hope that he's going to be okay because he can tell us what happened. I got news for you. I can tell you what happened. Dude ate his face. What reason could he possibly give you that would make it okay? What could he tell you? Well, we were having an argument about baseball, and he ate my face. Why are you looking for logic in this at all? It's like you can't approach this. You can't approach the zombie apocalypse with logic. It's like a cop coming up and going, "Hey, back away. Hey, you need to step down. Hey, you need to back away." No, fuck no. Shoot that motherfucker. Shoot him. And now there's people bitching after the fact, saying that they should have used a taser on the guy. And that you could if you use a taser. Fuck that. They had to put him. They had to empty a clip into this motherfucker to put him down. You think electricity was going to stop him? That's not going to fucking stop him. Liberals, conservatives, I don't give a fuck who you are or what you think. Shoot the zombies, all right? There's no fucking... You cannot have excessive force against a zombie. I got news for you. If I see a dude naked walking around, I'm going to shoot that guy. I'm going to empty a clip in that fucking guy. It's Florida. If you see a naked dude on the freeway at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, bust all of your bullets into that motherfucker's chest. Kill him. Shoot him. Because he's up to no good. Nobody forgets their clothes. He didn't forget to get dressed that morning. That's a crazy motherfucker, and he needs to be put the fuck down. Down. We need to fix this country. God damn it. What's wrong with everybody coddling the zombies? You can't coddle the zombies. And now, again, they look for excuses. They're like, oh, I think he was doing bath salts. Because now that's the thing. First they said it was LSD. Then they said it was cocaine, intense cocaine poisoning. And then they said it was bath salts. And you know who really loves this bullshit story? The anti-drug people. Because now they'll make some PSA where they're like, hey, if you smoke a joint, you get the munchies. You get the munchies. You eat a guy's face. Quit trying to spin it. It's the zombies. Do not try to convince me otherwise. It's the fucking zombies. Because now there's even more stories. There's a story about a guy in New Jersey today who cut his intestines out, his own intestines, and threw them at the cops. There's a story about people in the school who got like this weird rash. This was in Florida too. There were kids who got a rash and they didn't know what it was. Just they were itchy and shit was forming on their skin. This is like 2 weeks ago. And then they wound up getting sent home from school and they still don't know what it is. They had hazmat people out at the fucking school. A week before this zombie ate this fucking dude's face, cops came upon a doctor, a 41-year-old man who was vomiting blood. He threw up blood on the cops. And when they threw him in the car, he started banging his head on the plexiglass. Like he couldn't understand them. They wouldn't talk to him. Folks, it's happening. This is it. Go watch any movie, read any book about zombies. This is how it starts. You get these small, random incidents. And again, the only bad news is it's good for us that it started in Florida because, again, we can quarantine Florida. But it's also bad because so much stupid shit has happened in Florida over the years that all of us just go, that's just Florida. And before we know it, zombies are eating our faces all over this great land of ours. Folks, grow goatees. Do it. Do it for your own safety. You can afford to lose the rest of your face. Guy eats your eyelashes, or your eyelashes. Guy eats your eyelids, get sunglasses. Put sunglasses on, folks. But keep a goatee to keep your mouth in order so we can communicate with one another, to tell us where the other zombies are hiding on the freeway as they bite our faces. God damn it. It's funny when Facebook and Twitter started and it was like this national connection with everybody in social media. I thought that would help with the zombie apocalypse. I thought that would help with the warnings. But no, everybody, it's a joke to everyone. They think it's hilarious. What is wrong with you people? God damn it, do you want to see your face eaten? Do you want to see my face eaten? That's more important, I think. Do we want to see my face eaten? No, we don't. We want me to survive. I have to be the voice of this nation. I have to be the Good Morning Vietnam dude of the fucking, of the zombie apocalypse. You'll all tune into me and listen to me while you're all fighting the zombies. I'll be like the funny guy. Oh, great with that. Oh, how perfect is that? I make it funny for you. That's what we need to do. First of all, the first thing we need to do is build a bunker for me. That's what we need to do. We need a stronghold, a bunker, and not just like some piece of shit, like one panic room. I need a big underground bunker for me because I will lift the spirits of everyone during the zombie apocalypse. That's why you need me, folks. You think Mark Maron and his motion capture ping pong ball suit is going to motivate you to kill zombies? I don't think so. You think Bailey J and her confused gender issues is going to make you want to kill zombies? I don't think that's going to happen, folks. You need me, and the government needs me. Right now, the government needs to spirit me away to an underground bunker, an elaborate underground bunker. Let's not be confused. Again, I cannot just be in some tiny little supply closet with a microphone. Bullshit. I need screens, and I need a bunch of canned goods and a couch. I need a bunch of awesome stuff, all right? An Xbox and a PS3. I need them all. And by the way, they should also build a place to find a cure for zombies. I mean, we know that, all right? But they cannot have my bunker too close to the place where they're just developing the cure, folks. Because I think we know that the zombies are going to find the cure center. We've seen every movie, we've read every book. The zombies will soon swarm into the cure center. However, very rarely, if at all, have the zombies ever attacked a funny guy in a radio station. I have never seen it, quite frankly, and I don't think I'll be the first. So I think that will make me safe. So if we get me this highly secure underground bunker, with, although I will be honest with you, I'm going to need some armed guards, and preferably not Florida police armed guards, because I don't want anybody telling the zombies 3 times to get out of my bunker. That's not going to work. Shoot them in the face before they eat your face. That's Florida's new slogan. Right now, that should be Florida's police. You know, we have to serve and protect everywhere else. It should just be shoot them in the face before they eat your face. That's the new slogan for Florida police. What the fuck? If you see a guy growling with a mouthful of flesh, I'm sorry, man. Unload a clip into him. And then get me into a secure bunker so I can keep everybody's spirits up while that's happening. Because I got to be honest, shooting guys in the face has got to get tiring, and it's not funny. It's not funny. I'm making it funny now, sort of. But everybody needs to grow a goatee and get me to a bunker so I can keep their spirits up. Because I'm going to be no good when the fighting starts, folks. I can tell you that right now. I am not strong anymore. And I'm not working out. Look, all right. People have written me about this. They're like, dude, what's up with your workout plan? All right, here, I've got I'll talk about this because I write people and I'm like, yeah, it's going okay because I haven't been able to tell you the truth. Here's the truth, folks. I haven't worked out in a couple weeks. It's been 2 weeks, I think. I worked out. I started working out in the beginning of May, and then my back seized up on me. My back got all fucked up. So I had to actually cancel a training thing because I could not sit still. And then I was working out and I was having some other problems, but I was ignoring those. But then my hamstrings got all fucked up and I could barely stand up actually for a couple days. And I've talked about that in here. But I was still working out. I still made myself go. And I would do time on the treadmill and go. But then Oh, fuck. All right, a couple of weeks ago, this happened like in the beginning of the month, and I've been ignoring it as long as I could, but eventually it turns out that I can't go to the gym because of this. And I'm sorry that I'm telling you this. And folks, I got to apologize. You thought eating a guy's face was graphic. This is going to get a little rough, and I apologize for you because this isn't anything that I really like talking about. I don't like talking about this sort of thing, but I have to because enough of you are writing, and because this year is, I have the Warrior Dash coming up in September. As long as the face eaters stay east, I'm still going to be able to go on the Warrior Dash in September. And that's all happening. I'm signed up. I'm committed. We're in. Team Mike, whoever the fuck wants to be involved. Other people are signing up Saturday at 4. Go sign up for it in Portland, Oregon, September something. I think it's the 9th. I don't know. Can't remember. And I'll be in shape and ready to do it by the time that rolls around. But like I said, I had back issues and I had hamstring issues because, again, I'm just getting back on the horse. And the horse was not happy to have me on. Believe me. Because the last time I was on the horse, I was much lighter. And this time, the horse was furious. The horse, of course, being my knees. But the rest of my body falling apart, the back, the hamstrings, whatever the fuck. But I was, trying to power through if I could. If I couldn't, I would cancel. I've danced around this long enough. This happened the first time I went to the gym. Remember when I saw the dude in the pool with the wound on his back and all that stuff? All right. The next day, I woke up and I had the typical soreness and pain and all that stuff. I apologize, folks. But also, from working out, literally just one day working out. And also I changed my diet. A lot of protein shakes, a lot of fruit, a lot of fiber, all that stuff. I woke up like the next day it was there, but then 2 days later is when it showed up for real. I apologize. I have a hemorrhoid. Okay. And I've had it now since May 2nd. And I mean it showed up, and I've never had this ever in my life. All right. I told you I had issues. I had an anal fissure once. Once I had my surgery because of my diet had changed and things like that. And that was fucking torture. Like, it was brutal. But I've never had a hemorrhoid. Like, it's just never. I've been very lucky in my life, folks, because I never had a hemorrhoid. I've never had like real acne, like on my face, zits on my face or my forehead or anything. I might get one every 4 months. It shows up, but I've always been lucky that way. I have good skin and a good ass, apparently, because I never had a problem with hemorrhoids. But the day, like 2 days after my workout, this showed up, and it hasn't gone away. And I don't know how to deal with them because I don't have them. I know you're supposed to go get pads or creams or whatever I don't know. But in my opinion, here's what happens when I get sick. I always just think eventually it'll go away. If you got a cold, it's going to go away. You got a flu, it's going to go away. Everything's just going to go away. Well, the problem is then I kept going to the gym and I kept working out. And the strain of working out, like, because you clench everything in your body, and then also add in the fact that I'm drinking these protein shakes, and I'm shitting out cinder blocks. I mean, it's ridiculous, folks. I mean, I can't even, because I don't have any stomach acid anymore because of my fucking weird thing that I had. So I mean, I eat prunes and pineapple and cherries and grapes and then protein shakes and oatmeal and almonds and walnuts. Like I'm eating, I eat like a fucking squirrel all day long. And I can't believe that squirrels don't have monstrous hemorrhoids. I don't even think squirrels have tails, folks. I gotta be honest with you. Squirrels don't have tails. Those aren't tails. Those are big, bushy fucking hemorrhoids hanging off the back of their bodies. And there's no wonder that why squirrels, you ever see a squirrel and he's fucking acting buggy crazy? Like, you'll see a squirrel standing there and then just for no reason, he sprints up a fucking tree. It's because he's in pain, folks, from that giant, bushy fucking hemorrhoid hanging off the back of his body. He's not, that's where acting squirrely came from. All right. The first guy who ever had a hemorrhoid, they said, dude, you're acting squirrely. He's like, yeah, there's a reason. Because folks, I mean, I can't even sit down. Like, I mean, I used to wear a sweatshirt to work. and it was in my car. Now I bring it into work and I form it into a donut, like one of those weird donut things that people sit on because they have hemorrhoids. And like I said, it won't go away. I don't know if I'm supposed to take medicine or what the hell I'm supposed to do, but I don't have insurance, so I can't go visit a doctor and talk to him. And I go on the web and forget about it. You go to WebMD and you're like, I have a hemorrhoid. They're like, you have AIDS. You're going to die soon. Someone's going to eat your face. I mean, like literally, that's what they break it down to because they go crazy with your symptoms. So I kept going to the gym with it, and I kept, I would run, and I'd be on the treadmill running, and it was fucking crazy, painful, and itchy and terrible. But I was in my head, I'm like, well, you just got to fight through this. Well, but the problem is it wasn't going away. In fact, it seems to be getting bigger. Like it seems to be like I think it's actually it might actually have a mouth at this point, and it's like talking to me like, dude, you got to stop going to the gym. Like it's I have a head. It's just there's a head right in my ass, and it won't fucking calm down because now. Again, folks, I apologize. I work out and it's in pain for that, so I had to actually stop going to the gym. But this thing still won't go away, and I wind up using the bathroom. I have to go use the restroom, and it feels like I'm shitting on a porcupine. Like every time I go to the goddamn bathroom, like it just rampages out of me, and not even just a porcupine in like a sandpaper cape. I mean, it's like that bad. And to the point where I wind up, I like punch my knee when it's happening because I'm getting ass raped from the inside out. It's like there's a maximum security prison inside of me, and I have to serve whenever I go to the bathroom. It's like me and my cellmate. It's like, oh great, this again, and he rapes me from the inside out. It's that painful. I can't, dudes. I look. You don't want to hear this. I'm sure you don't want to hear this, but I just have to explain it because I feel bad that I haven't worked out. People are like, oh dude, how come you're not working out? Well, it's because I can barely sit the fuck down, and it didn't stop. Well, all right, like there were other fuck. I can't. I'm not going to get into that, but I have to get it. All right, look. Like, this is awful. Can you tell that I don't want to talk about this? Like, it's because it's not funny. None of this is funny because I won't let it be funny because I don't even want to talk about it because it's fucking horrifying. I'm sitting here, although the blood has rushed to my face as I'm telling you this, but I'm telling you it because it's true. It just, I can't. Here's the thing. I used to enjoy going to the bathroom, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. That used to be something I looked forward to. I'd be like, all right, we get in there. If you get a magazine, maybe a magazine. Now I bring my phone in there because that's a new deal. Hey, it's exciting. I go in and I kill some time, and it would just be me and my ass, and it was zen. We were one. We were together right there in the bathroom, and we were getting done what we needed to get done as a team. But now my ass is seceded from the fucking union. My ass is finished with me, and it's just you can only shit blood so many times where you're just like, what the fuck am I going to do here? That's awful. That's gruesome. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize, but it's true. It's true. It's just, and I can't, but then I got a globe hanging out of my ass, folks. And a painful globe. It's not like one of the nice globes where you can go, hey, look, there's Decatur, Illinois. No, it's just a shit globe. It's awful. It hurts so bad. It's so bad. God damn it. And it's just there, and it just gets bigger, and it's throbbing, and it's awful. And I can't even explain it to you because, dude, when you're in pain sitting down, doing nothing, it feels like someone is doing this to my ass the whole time. Like even now, like it's this weird, it's like if you know how you use your finger and you're like, hey, what? All right. When you're going G-spot hunting, you know what I'm talking about? Anybody at all? When you're going to go in and up, that's what and you can do that. That's what it feels like. All right. The whole time. And unfortunately, that's not a G-spot. That's an H spot. That's an awful spot. That's a spot no fingers should ever be, quite frankly. Unless we're certainly not when I'm alone. All right. If I'm with somebody else, hey, fingers, let's do it. Let's talk about it. I'm open to whatever you want to discuss. But when I'm solo by myself, no, I want nothing involved in there at all. That's just a gateway that should just be alone, not being disturbed in any way whatsoever. But instead, I sit here the whole time, and it feels like there's a squirrel trying to get out of my ass. God damn it, it's awful. I wish it wasn't true, but it's true, and I'm telling you about it now. But it's like I'm fucking sweating telling you about it now because it's just the whole time I've been here, it's happening. I didn't want to. It's funny. I didn't want to bust out the sweatshirt donut for fucking Lily to check out because but now I'm telling you about it. It's just awful because I used to enjoy that. It was just me, and I was very zen, and it was like I was like Bruce Lee in the bathroom. That's what I was. It was like you must be like water. I was like water. I was flowing at all fucking times. But now there's an ant in the afterbirth, and it's not good, folks. It's fucking me up. I don't know how to exist. I can't exist. And then go to the gym. And all right, look, yeah, because of this, another thing happened. All right, and I'll tell you this. Fucking, it's terrible. It's awful, but I'll tell you. Because what the fuck? Well, it couldn't be worse now, right? So I still went to the gym, even with this thing. And, Richard has got me doing stuff. All right, when you first start out working out again after getting back to the gym, you can't just barrel into weights. Like, I want to leg press. I want to do fucking crazy shit. But he's got me doing that shock the body nonsense. But he's not wrong. It's just because obviously look what happened. My fucking abs gave way, my back gave way, my hamstrings, and now I got a fucking globe hanging out of my ass because my body was not prepared for this. All right. So he's got me doing like lunges and squats and a lot of clean and jerks with dumbbells and push-ups and a lot of isometric stuff and planking and a lot of stuff where it's your body versus your body. Okay, and believe me, right now it's me versus my ass. I can tell you, I'm very well versed in body versus body. But he's doing things where you're using your own body weight instead of going and using other weights. And I will tell you, that makes me feel inadequate and weird. And so I said to him, I go, look, I'd really like to step this up and go do weights as well, like at least one day a week. And he's like, we will, but right now we're doing this. But, well, I didn't even get to that because as I'm doing his exercises, I got a fucking, a puppet hanging out of my ass. So I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. But I still kept going. I still went to the gym and I'd work out, I'd run, I'd walk on the treadmill. And the whole time it was just this nagging pain. It burns, it itches. I'm if you've ever had one, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't get one. So I found myself compensating for it while I was there at the gym. Like, I would clench my ass, which is good. I mean, you're getting a pretty decent workout ass-wise. My ass it's getting fabulous workout, but the rest of me is just, it's not up to par because I'm trying to, like, whenever you move, it hurts. So I'm trying to clench it so there's as little movement as possible, even when I'm lifting weights and doing things. All right. I have no idea why I'm boring you with this. It's just fucking, I am so uncomfortable talking about this, and yet I'm making myself do it for no good reason. There's no good reason. What does this benefit the world? This doesn't benefit the world at all. Jesus, will somebody show up and eat my face off, please, so I can stop talking about this? All right. So I'm working out with Richard, and we go into there's a side room, and there's like two other people working out. It's like they hold dance classes in it, but the trainers can bring dudes in there to do stuff. So he's got me doing lateral movement. So I'm going from pole to pole, like if you were a linebacker, like crossover steps, side to side, and you're going up and down the room. So I'm doing that, and as I'm doing that, I'm trying to clench at the same time. So I'm like fighting against my own body. And the thing is, when you're working out, that's enough of a challenge anyway, but then when you're fighting against it, it's really hard to do. So add that in with the fact that I'm eating, every day. He told me that I have to eat oatmeal with almonds and fruit before I go into work out, and that's what I'm eating anyway. But I have to eat an hour before I go to work out, so you have energy, blah blah blah. Go home and have a protein shake, and I'm eating tons of fruit, and fine. So I'm hopping around, I'm jumping around. He's got me doing stuff, and I'm clenching at the same time. So, but as I'm clenching and I'm working out, I also have my diet working against me, and so this happened. I'm sorry. I'm telling you it. It's awful. It's terrible. It's not. Look, it's not as awful and terrible as I'm making it sound, but it's like I don't like talking about this shit. But it happened. There's like 4 other people working out in the room. I'm working out. I'm jumping around, and then involuntarily I farted in the middle of this workout. Okay. I didn't mean to, didn't want to, certainly wasn't involved and interested in it, but it happened because, again, I'm eating fruit, and it's just like my body is fighting against me at this point, and it's furious. I think it was my body just being pissed off at me, quite frankly, because it's like, really? For 2 years you haven't done a fucking thing, and now you're here doing lunges? What the fuck are you doing lunges for? We're going to take care of that shit right now. Because, you know what? They said, hey, we fucked with your abs, and it didn't stop you. We fucked with your back, and it didn't stop you. We fucked with your hamstrings. What is it going to take for you to get the message? How about if you go ahead and fart in front of a room full of girls? Is that going to be a problem? And that's what happened. I did a lunge and farted. Now, but here's the bad thing, folks. Because I'm eating this weird, funky diet and all these fruits and grains and all this bullshit, I farted and, it's awful. All right. It's just awful. It's been awful at home. It's awful wherever it happens. But for this to happen there, it smells like somebody burned down a jungle. That's what it's because I'm eating like fruit and nuts and grains and all that kind of stuff, but it also had it just gets this nasty fucking rank stink to it. It smelled like someone took a flamethrower to the produce section at Ralph's. Like it's that kind of fucking, because it's got like this sulfur smell, but also it smelled kind of, it had a fruity note. I won't lie, it had a fruity note to it because I eat pineapple and grapes and cherries and all sorts of shit all fucking day long, and prunes, like 18 prunes a day I'm chowing down. But here's the worst part. First of all, so I knew it was going to be bad when it happened, but here I farted, but I may have mentioned to you guys, I got waxed, a couple of weeks ago. So when you get waxed, it changed. All right, your ass sticks together. Like how do I put that? Like there's no like traction or friction. It's like your ass is stuck together like an envelope. Like if you lick an envelope and you seal it, your ass seals like that. Especially when you're working out and you're sweating, like it doesn't get loose. It actually it like bonds because I can't explain it. So I farted, but my ass was stuck together. This is awful. And so it made a noise that sounded like I broke. That's all it sounded like. Like, because I did like a lunge and it made like this like it sounded like someone threw a pumpkin off of a roof. I mean, it was like that kind of a fucking just a thud. Like it wasn't, because sometimes you hear a fart and you're like, haha, fart. But this sounded like an angry animal was trying to get out of my ass and I wouldn't let it out. It was just this like, it was like if you had a trumpet with that like fucking noise thing, but it didn't make the fun noise of it. Like if you just, all right, say you had a trumpet with that like thing in the front of the trumpet, but then to blow in the trumpet, instead of using your lips, you used like a fucking fire extinguisher, like this huge blast. Like, and it was just like, like I can't do the noise, but oh my God, was it awful. I'm not even joking. It sounded like you hit a cantaloupe with a baseball bat. So I did a lunge and then that noise happened and I immediately thought I shit myself. I won't lie. I thought, because I was clenching anyway, and this will sound awful too. This is going to sound really bad. With this globe I have hanging out of my ass, farting actually helps. Because it's like it causes a momentary it gives it something to do. Like it takes its mind off being an asshole, I guess. It takes its mind off the itchiness and all. It makes it deal with something else for just like a second. So I actually kind of look forward to that now, but certainly not in a room where 4 other trainers and girls and women are working out. I mean, it was just, so I did a lunge and I looked like Molly Shannon with Superstar when she did that with that fucking character. Sister Mary Catherine Gallagher, whatever the fuck, and she'd go down to one knee and go with her hands, and she'd go, Superstar. Well, I was doing a lunge. I had fucking dumbbells in my hand, and I lunged forwards. I'm on one knee, and then it just, all of a sudden, it sounds like someone put a fucking cherry bomb in a watermelon. Just boom! And I made a face, like, so I know everybody looked at me because I made a face because I thought for sure I shit myself. I thought because I'd been clenching and fighting against it, and then all of a sudden it just happened. Boom! It just forced its way out. But with this horrible fucking noise, it was just like, it was as if if you somehow drove like a Cadillac Escalade through a doorway. That was the force that it went through. It was just like this brutal. Oh my God. And so I literally froze with my hands in the air with the dumbbells and on one knee and looked around, and everybody looked at me to make sure that I was okay, I think, because it was the worst noise. It sounded like my spine had exploded. And then I just I stood up, and Richard looked at me and he just goes, Big Mike. And I'm just like, yeah, that's awful. And he goes, you okay? And then the smell hit the room, and everybody tried to, like, they just all started laughing, like they all cracked up because it was death. It was death incarnate. It was just. It was like the smell. Did you ever see in Silence of the Lambs when they find the body that's been floating in the water forever, and they go, "There's a seed pod in its throat." No, it's a bug cocoon, and he pulls it out, and you hear that. And then they all had to wipe like the white stuff on their face. Yeah, that's what it smelled like. It was just awful. It smelled like I had a pants full of morgue. And so everybody just froze and like looked, and I stood up, and then the smell, and then everybody just starts laughing. Because I mean, it was just to relieve the tension, or just, and I'm sure they weren't laughing at me. They sort of were. They were. But I almost wanted to say to them, look, I'm in pain. Like, I mean, almost to reach out with them and go, hey, I got a globe hanging out of my ass. But Richard was just like, you okay? And I said, yeah. And I finished working out. But I decided that was the last day I went. Where I called him and I said, hey, look, I'm going to put on hold our next appointment. And he's like, oh, I understand, man. That's cool. He totally got it. But this is, 2 weeks ago, I think. And so I haven't been back, but also because I'm still dealing with, and I don't give a fuck about ruining everybody's day that day. Who cares? Four people saw me fart, whatever the fuck, who cares? I'm telling all of you now. So, I mean, literally, like, 1,000 times the amount of people that were in that room are now hearing about it, and I apologize. But it's more the 2 weeks that because I can't even sit down without being in like weird pain. So, and I'll fix it. I'll definitely fix it because I got to get in shape for Portland. I figure, I'll go through Boston. It's kind of alleviating itself because you know what? This week I actually started to use medicine for it. I know it sounds stupid. Like I waited for a month. But then finally I went, well, maybe I need to do something here. So I went out and bought the shit that you're supposed to buy. And I guess it's working. It's been 2 days. It sort of seems like it's working better, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea what it really do. There's really only one way to fix this. I got to find some homeless guy and give him bath salts and have him eat this thing out of my ass. You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. You guys can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can follow our friend Lily Von Stupp on Twitter at 2 accounts, Twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp and Twitter.com/MNTs. You can write her at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. Go ahead and be her friend. If you want to be our friend David's friend, go to Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez. And if you want to write our friend Lily a personal note and find out if she's ever going to let me back into her house after this particular story, you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
You're listening to The 40-Year-Old Boy, and coming up later, The Day the Indians Killed Danny Nagy, a window into tragedy.
Within moments, the unfortunate events of the day worsened still. Chief Staring Bison.
Tribe elders pleaded with the Danny Nagy to remove his casual footwear from our hallowed ground. He then discarded a Twix wrapper into the ancient flame. Its angry crackling foretold that Danny Nagy must die.
Powerful. The Day the Indians Killed Danny Nagy on the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
An eagle screamed.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Tease every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. There's a burlesque show there called the Monday Night Tease, as I've mentioned. And it's produced by a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine who happens to be in the room right now, well, because it's her room. Lily Von Stupp. Hey, Lily.
Hi, Michael.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little sweaty, a little blushy, but I'll get through it. That's fine. How was the show this week?
Fantastic.
Yeah, you sound... I know it really was fantastic, even though you're making it sound like it wasn't.
Oh, it was amazing.
German guy did a good job.
Oh, German guy, amazing. Yido Lux is awesome.
He'll like the story I just told, probably. That's German people speed.
No.
Yes, it is. That's what they enjoy. All right. No one will enjoy it. I can't believe anybody's even listening now. I'm sure they snapped it off.
Thanks for ruining my plug.
Yeah, destroyed everything. So that was a good show last week, and then you've got a show this week. Is it a theme show this week?
It is not, but it's a great show.
Who's there?
I'm very excited to have New York's Legs Malone.
Legs Malone?
Yeah.
That's a good name.
34.5-inch inseam. She is like all legs. It's fucking hot.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should just book body parts people. You should book Legs Malone and Tits McGee, who we've talked about. Nipples Gonzalez, who's a close friend of ours. And
Ruby Breast Nut out of San Francisco.
who's this?
Ruby Breast Nut.
Ruby Breast Nut?
Yeah, it's not my name.
I don't know if I like that one.
Who else?
Pussyhead Wilson? She ever play your show?
No.
No, you never booked Pussyhead Wilson? I think that was like Gangster in the 20s. It was like there was Pretty Boy Floyd and Pussyhead Wilson. All right. Well, good. That's a good show. Are you performing?
I'm hosting.
You're hosting that show. That's good. So, and again, as always, folks, if you show up and you smack Lily on the ass, you get in free. That's the way it works there. And why not? We can hype this now. Tickets are on sale for the Prince show, right?
Oh, yeah.
July 9th. Erotic Titty is the name of the show, folks. It's a Prince-themed burlesque show, and I've just saw 2 of the acts, or at least 2 of the girls that are going to be in there. Pretty hot. So that's exciting. Once we get that roster firmed up, I'll tell you more about their names. But right now, I'll just tell you there are girls there that are hot. And tickets are on sale now at
BrownPaperTickets.com.
BrownPaperTickets.com. And you can go to Burlesque 411 for information, or
Go
MondayNightTees.com. Go to MondayNightTees.com. I always fuck that up. Go to MondayNightTees.com for information. And also go to Brown Paper Tickets to buy tickets for her. And for me. For shows. You can go to Facebook.com/the40year-old-boy and be my friend over there if you'd like. Or unfriend me after this week's show. Why wouldn't you? I would. So if you go there, there's pages to bring me to towns, all sorts of cities. I'm still looking for Indianapolis. Or I'm sorry, I'm still looking for Detroit and still looking for Wisconsin. And then the guy contacted me about Florida. I don't know if I'm going to be going to Florida this summer, folks. But if you want to bring Mike Schmidt to a bunker under the under the earth, and then you have broadcasting equipment, I'm in. That'd be fantastic. Remember, you go to Brown Paper Tickets, and tickets are available for me in Boston this weekend, June 1st, at the Cambridge YMCA Theater. Show's at 7:30 p.m. Please remember that. Hey, if you want to get in on the chair thing, we're going to do it Thursday at probably 1 or 2. I haven't decided just yet. Probably 2. Thursday at 2 o'clock, we'll go set up chairs. No, 1 o'clock. Let's call it 1. Thursday at 1 o'clock, we'll go set up chairs, and then we'll go have lunch somewhere. You guys know where in Boston. I don't know where, but that'll be fun. I'll get to meet some people on Thursday. That'll be cool. And then I'm having, I'm going out tomorrow night with people. I'm excited. Boston trip should be fun. I hope the show goes well. Tickets are available for that still at brownpapertickets.com. 7:30 Friday night, June 1st, the Cambridge YMCA Theater. Come on out to the show. That'd be great. And I would look forward to seeing you and meeting you. Make sure you come up and say hello. That's the reason I go out of town, is to meet you guys. June 15th, I'll be in Kansas City. And I can tell you right now, there was talking about a DVD or possibly audio taping. None of that's going to happen because nobody's buying tickets for Kansas City, folks. I'll tell you that. And it's a small room. So I was like, oh, it's cool. It's a small room. Shouldn't be a problem. Hey, it is. So if you're going to the Kansas City show, buy tickets so I know that you're coming. And if you're not, then that's fine. And don't buy tickets, or buy tickets anyway. No, don't buy tickets if you're not coming, because that would suck, because then I would think about taping in front of a room of people that aren't there. But whatever, who cares? I'm being a negative dick. But come out to the show in Kansas City, June 15th at the Westport Coffee House Theater. Tickets available at brownpapertickets.com right now. And as far as I know, that show's at 8 o'clock. I haven't been told otherwise. Nobody's backed out on me, so we should be okay. And then June 29th, Toronto, Canada. Comedy Bar. That's a Friday night, June 29th. I'm excited about that show. I'm excited about Kansas City, too. I don't want to shit on them. It's just that Kansas City's not buying tickets and Toronto is. But so buy tickets for Toronto. Again, we got to show that guy that I can still draw people, or do or whatever. So June 29th, Comedy Bar in Toronto. July 27th at the Indie Fringe Theater in Indianapolis, Indiana. Those tickets are on sale, and those are not moving at all. Those make Kansas City look like a boom town, folks. But that's a couple of months, so I'm not so worried about that just now. But Kansas City's 2 weeks away. We need to buy some tickets for that, folks. And still looking at other cities, as I've mentioned. You can go to the Joe Business page at the MikeSchmidtComedy.com website. MikeSchmidtComedy.com is the website. Go to the Joe Business page, and there are, of course, links to Zazzle to go ahead and get the Fireboy coffee mug or the Thorgar and Yeep coffee mug. There's links to tweakedaudio.com/40. We're brewing up a special to be coming up in the coming weeks, unless they bail on me after this week's show, and I guess I wouldn't blame them. Actually, you know what? TweakedAudio.com, they do autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds. They do the cock ring watches, and now they're going to do ass globes. I'm going to convince them to somehow come up with an ass globe. That'll be fine from Tweaked. If they can't do it, I'll put it on Zazzle, or perhaps I'll just put it on the download page. Download your own ass globe, folks. I can tell you that download will be painful. Also, on the Cowboy Fuck Cowboy. That's the guy in the Village People. That's the other dude. Ha, 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 yeah! I knew it. Fucking Cowboy. Indian, cowboy, leather dude, cop, construction worker. Done. Yes. What do you say no for? Bullshit. He's a cowboy. There's a cow. He's the fifth dude.
Cowboy.
Good. Done. Yes. All right. But what?
There's a sixth.
Bullshit.
No bullshit. By the way, leather dude is biker.
Fuck biker. Whatever. Who cares? Leatherman. I don't care. That's not a job. Still not a job. God damn it, cowboy. But now there's a sixth one? I was fucking proud of myself for thinking of the game.
There's been a sixth one.
There's no now there's one. You just added one.
There's
You
one.
hired him right in this interval from me yelling cowboy to now. You hired a sixth dude.
No, I didn't.
God damn it, cowboy. That nails it. That cleans it up. That right there drives a stake in it. There's one more dude? Who the fuck could it be? I said it's not pilot, it's not sailor. There's a cowboy, construction worker, Indian, cop, and cowboy, construction worker, Indian, cop, Leatherman. And then there's a sixth dude. Lawyer?
Yes.
There's a lawyer in the Village People? Holy shit. That doesn't seem like a great costume at all, but all right, good for him. There's a sixth dude, and it's not a sailor, because again, that's just too on the nose. That doesn't make any sense. What other uniform there's no football player in there. I mean, it's just I'm trying to think of a uniform. There's no other uniform. There's not. I guess pilot. It's not a pilot. There's no cop, or there is a cop. There's no sailor. Fuck, I can't. Who's the sixth? Don't tell me. I'll think about it. All right. On the Joe Business page, folks, remember that there's the download sets available too. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, and Year 4. And also there's the Podcast of the Caribbean. Pirate! Is there a pirate?
No.
God damn it. Thought I had it. Podcast of the Caribbean set, folks. It's available right now, featuring Curse of the Black Schmidt, At Schmidt's End, Dead Man Schmidt, and On Stranger Mikes. Those are available right now. You can buy them individually or buy them as a set. Individually, $25 each, but as a set, $75. That's right. It's like you're getting one of them free. It's like you're getting On Stranger Mikes free. You sure it's not a pirate? God damn it. All right, so that's on the Mike Schmidt Joe Business page. Go to the MikeSchmidtComedy.com, go to Joe Business. Also on every page at the MikeSchmidtComedy.com site, upper left-hand corner, there's a little Schmitty with his pocket out. Donate to him. Teacher? Like a professor? That like a naughty professor like dude? Damn it. Who could it be? So then there's the donation things you can click. There's all sorts of donations. There's $2, $5, $10 a month. Or there's one-time donation if you want to do that. And then it's going to be changed soon. There's others coming up, but you don't care. If you're going to donate to what it says there now. And again, you can do a one-time donation if you want to do that as well. Scuba Man? There's not like a scuba dude, right? Like or superhero, like a Superman, like an Aquaman guy? God damn it. Who could it be? What uniform? What's iconic? I can't figure it out. Oh, fuck. All right. So there's the downloads. There's the stuff. I got to break this down, folks. Listen, there's an Indian. There's a cowboy. They're natural enemies. So then there's a cop. Is there like a burglar, like in a striped burglar suit? Because he'd be a natural enemy of a cop. And then, who's the natural enemy of a Leatherman? I don't know. Is there a priest? Is there a priest in there? Biker. Why must you clarify it? Are you?
That's what it is.
He's a Leatherman.
No.
Yes.
No. He's a biker.
Bullshit. He's got that
construction
weird.
worker and a Native American. They don't call him an Indian.
Oh, sadly, I know his name. His name was Philippe Rose, and I know the construction worker was David Hodo. I know names of Village People, guys, and yet I can't pull the sixth dude. Although I'm sure they'd let me pull the sixth dude if I really wanted to. Hopefully the sixth dude is a ticket taker. Like, is he dressed up like a ticket taker? Because he can help me out in fucking Boston. God damn, who could it be? It's not a policeman, cop, scuba guy, pilot, not a Navy dude. I'm missing something somewhere. There's got to be, folks, help me. No. A doorman. It's not just like a doorman in a doorman suit. God damn it. I guess he's not an army guy. It's not a fucking Navy guy. It's not a, what? Is it a dude? Is it a guy? It's not a Navy guy. I said it's not a Navy guy.
What did you say before that?
Army guy? There's an army guy in the Village People?
There's a sergeant.
He has a rank. Of course he has a rank. He's a sergeant. Fuck, I had no idea. God damn it. So there's an army guy, and then a leather man, and then a cop, an Indian. He's a leather man.
Native American.
Oh my God, a police officer. He's not a cop. Have some respect.
he's a cop.
Look, these guys dance around and sing disco songs and engage in circle jerks. Have some respect, for fuck's sake. He's not just an Indian, he's a Native American. He planted corn and he fucked guys in the ass. Have some respect for this guy. He's a sergeant. He didn't fuck a lot of privates to get to sergeant to have you ignore the stars and bars on his arm. How dare you defy him his rank? He's a police officer. He's not a cop. Is he a detective? Maybe he's a detective? Is he internal affairs? Actually, you know what? He probably is internal affairs. I'm betting that the cop in the Village People certainly was internal affairs. At least he was for the rest of them. He's been investigating the crimes of the Indian inside and out. Because I have a tone. Because you know why? Because I talk quickly and I don't fucking think. That's why. I think that's what it means when you have a tone. Is you don't fucking bother to care what comes flying out of your goddamn mouth. I try to grow the show and I want people to get on board and they're like, I listen to it and you talk too fast. Really, I talk too fast. How the hell else am I supposed to cram all of this into a small 3-hour window? Dude, there's no script. I just go over this shit on the fly. It makes me laugh. If it doesn't make you laugh, turn the fucking station. And by turn the station, I mean turn the wheel of your car right into a guardrail. Jesus, fuck. Hey, where are you going, boy?